So there's a clock, hay un reloj, clock. And it says that the area is 530.66. We want to know what is this, right? The radius. So area equals pi r squared. Area is 530.66 equals pi r squared. I'm going to divide by pi, right? And then divide by pi. So in your calculator, 530.66 divided by pi te sale 168.91 r squared. Now take the square root. Take the square root. You can put a little 2 there. That crosses, that crosses. And the radius, 168.91, enter, is 12.99. We're going to round that. 12.996, so it becomes 13. 13, whatever this is, inches, 13 inches. Number 2, again, there's a circle. Oops, really ugly circle. There's a circle. Alright, so let me see if I can draw a better circle. There's a circle. There you go. Change that property. Change color. I hate the color. Okay. Alright, so the circle, the area is 314, and the radius, we don't know. So A equals pi r squared, 314 pi r squared. I'm going to divide by pi and divide by pi. So 314 divided by pi is 99.95, okay? Equals r squared. I'm going to take the square root, like raíz cuadrada. So we get, there's a little 2, you can cross that out. Square root 99.95, it's going to get 9.997, so that's 9.997, right? And that changes to 10, so the radius is 10. Again, another circle. The area is 200.96. We want the radius, and we want the diameter. Right, the radius, and we also want the diameter. So A equals pi r squared. The area is 200.96. Pi r squared. Divide by pi, please. Divide by pi. This pi and this pi goes away. R squared. So 200.96 divided by pi is 63.97. Take the square root. Take the square root. So R, so if you take the square root of that, 63.97, you got to very 7.998, 7.998, or radius equals 8. So if the radius is 8, how much is the diameter? Is it double? So the diameter is 16. 4, 5, 6, we're going to do it in class tomorrow, so I want you to skip. Again, so number 7, it's, again, so 7, 8, 9, 7, they're repetitive. So area equals 803.84. So again, we can practice 803.84. Pi r squared, divide by pi, divide by pi, r squared. So 803 divided, 803.84 divided by pi is 255.87. Take the square root, take the square root. And r, the radius, 255.87, and it's 15.995. Or we round to nearest hundred, it's going to be 60. Okay, so the radius equals 16. B, the area is 1017.36. Again, we want the radius. A equals pi r squared. 1017.36 equals pi r squared. Divide by pi, divide by pi. 1017.36 divided by pi. 323.84 r squared. Square root, raíz cuadrada. And r equals 323.84 square root 323.84. And we get 17.995, which we're going to round this to 18. So the radius is 18. And then we have 7c, which is area equals 1256. So again, we want the radius. ¿Cuánto es el radius? So a equals pi r squared. A equals pi, that's the area, 1256 pi r squared. Divide both sides by pi, and we get 1256 divided by pi is 399.78 r squared. Take the square root, take the square root. So we get r, and we take 399.78 equals 19.994. So that's your radius right there. Okay, one more. Area equals 1384.74. So again, ¿cuánto es el radius? Equals pi r squared. 1384.74 equals pi r squared. Divide by pi. Divide by pi. 1384.74 divided by pi. So r squared equals 440.78. Square root. Square root. Right, this becomes r, and square root of 440.78 equals 20.99. That was the easy page, so turn the page over. And if you do turn the page over, okay, let's do number 11. So number 11 has a diameter of 20. So the diameter of 20, the radius is, d equals 20, the radius is 10. Now we want the area, so a equals pi r squared. Area equals pi times 10 to the second power. 10 to the second power is 10 times 10, which is 100 pi. So we can leave it like this. Or you can multiply 100 times pi, and you can get area equals 314.16 meters square. So that's number 11. Number 12. Actually, I'll do number 13. Number 13, the diameter is, what is that? 22.6. 22.6. So the radius is 11.3, right? The radius. So a equals pi r squared. A equals pi times 11.13. Oops. To the second power. Area equals pi, and then 11.13, 11.3 times 11.3 is 127.69. So we can write it, and we can say 129.7.69 pi, excuse me, yards squared. Or if you multiply 127.69 times pi, you get 401.15 yards squared. 15, the diameter is, what is that? I can't see. The diameter is 16. right? So if the diameter is 16, the radius is 8. So what's the area? Area equals pi r squared. Area equals pi times 8 to the second power. 8 to the second power is 64. Pi, and what's the inches? Miles? Okay, so I'm going to miles squared. Or, if you multiply 64 times pi, you get 201.06 miles squared. 5, the radius is 5 feet, so we don't have to do anything. So it's so easy. A equals pi r squared. A equals pi, r is 5, so it's 5 to the second power. What's 5 to the second power? It's 25, so 25 pi feet squared. Or, if you multiply 25 times pi, you get 78.54 feet squared. Number 7, the radius is 10.3 kilometers. So A equals pi r squared. A equals pi, and then the radius is 10.3. So what's 10.3 times 10.3? Equals 106.09 pi kilometers squared, or multiplying for pi, 106.09 times pi, enter 333.29 kilometers squared. Okay. Number 9 is 7, so this is 7 feet. So A equals pi r squared. A equals pi and 7 squared. 7 squared, 7 times 7 is 49 pi feet squared. Or, if you multiply 49 times pi, you get area equals 153.94 feet squared. So I did the left side, you can easily do the right side. Okay, hice el lado izquierdo, ustedes pueden hacer el lado derecho. Okay.